myself. Woo-hoo. I shared myself.
Oh, I should share you.
Yeah. So I shared me. Here I am, sharing myself with the world.
Uh-oh, I have to go in and the music is temporarily gone.
Uh-oh. Oh well. So I am sitting on the back porch, sharing myself. Mary is sharing me. Yay. Emma, on the other hand, is chasing a can and has now got a can and took off to the middle of the yard with it. So I know she's happy to be outside to run a little bit. So yay, Emma is getting a break to run. She is flat enjoying running.
She's after me.
And she ran back to Mary, and now she runs back to the can. Wanted to make sure that the can wasn't going to attack her, I guess. I don't know. Now she's going to bring her the can. Oh my God.
I think you should give a pep talk to all those people out in the world that doesn't have a partner right now, and give them
some encouragement to get a partner, or some encouragement because they don't have a partner?
Some encouragement that there's a partner out there for them. Look at our plants down there, how they're blooming. I need to get pictures.
Someone is out there for them. Okay.
Okay, shush.
Hey, going crazy on the can, aren't you, girl? I don't know about sharing about somebody out there for them. Some people are better off by themselves.
Some people will never have anybody.
Some people may never want anybody or have anybody because they're too selfish. In order to keep somebody, you can get somebody, but in order to keep somebody, you have to have a sense of sharing and compassion and empathy and a whole bunch of other characteristics. I mean, you can get somebody to sleep with you really quick, but getting them to be a partner is a different thing.
Oh yeah, partnership is different.
Especially if they think they're way better than you or something like that, you know. So all depends. But right now, no one's in but me, so it's just me kind of rambling on.
Oh no. So let's talk about how's the weather been lately?
Yeah, it's been great. It's had too much rain.
Too much rain, yeah.
Of course, it's 91 degrees when we went down to town today. But, hey, our dog, how's it going? 91 degrees earlier today, but up under the shade, where we are on the back patio, it probably feels like it's...
That's what we need back here.
Low 70s.
We need a thermometer back here.
We don't have a thermometer back here in the shade, do we? We actually need two. We need one to put up here in the shade
and one
to put out in the sun.
Yeah.
And then we could say, well, it's so-and-so degrees, but up here in the shade, it's like this much, you know, kind of thing. So, yeah, let me show you the vines. Oh my God, I think I got a pumpkin plant mixed in with my other stuff, our dog. See it right there? I think there's a pumpkin in the middle of my squash. Grew up on its own.
I don't know if you can see the flowers you identified.
Right there. And then, of course, the string beans are doing pretty good. String beans are doing good. Lettuce, there's part of the lettuce. I pulled off the lettuce. And then you can see the row of marigolds. Tomatoes back there, peppers, more squash and cucumbers and stuff. And then more lettuce and onions. So, massive amount of stuff. Those flowers Mary asked you to identify, I don't know if they'll show on camera, but there they are out there.
I think you can zoom.
I think I'm already zoomed. Well, no, I'm not. Well, look at there. Look at there, the purple heads on them. My camera doesn't want to stay focused on them. Anyway, yeah, he just said, Astlib. A-S-T-L-I-B-E. So, Yeah, so they're looking good. So they're looking good right now. And the monkey grass we put out there is still looking good. So eventually we're going to like surround the thing with more monkey grass and then just leave a path to go in. Rather than right now you just go in from anywhere, any old time, you know. And I got a stack of wood out there that's left over from the shed. I think I'm going to build like a box and just to stack kindling in. Because right now I have a whole cardboard box full of kindling and the cardboard box is falling apart. So I figured I might build a little wood box out of what's left. You know, no lid, just a wood box. And then I can throw the kindling in that. And then as I find other kindling, it can just be added to the box. But it won't be that big. It'll be like 2 foot by 1 foot, you know, maybe 2.5 foot by 1.5 feet. All depends upon, once I measure out the lumber down there that's left over, what the shortest piece is, that'll be the width, and whatever the shortest long piece is, that'll be the length. And then I'll just go as high as I can go, which I think is gonna be about 2.5, 3 foot. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe I'll change my mind and make it like double wide or something.
Tom poos and pup poos.
We don't need any more dogs. The more dogs you have...
Abort a doodle.
Yeah, we don't need any more dogs. The more dogs you have, the more dogs you have to put up. So what's going on, our dog? What you doing today? Are you working today? Sitting with somebody or taking care of somebody? Or are you just off today trying to keep yourself busy?
He feeds his turtle mice.
Feeds his turtle mice?
Turtle. Tortoise, he says, eats lettuce.
Then why is he feeding it mice?
Because it's a turtle, not a tortoise.
Oh, okay. Well, turtles eat anything, right? Turtles eat anything. You could give them like a hot dog and they'd be happy.
That they wouldn't eat Tiffany.
Well, if you cut her into little pieces, they might. Yeah. Of course, oh my God, you'd have a lifetime supply of food.
Yeah, you'd have to just get rid of the skanky parts, though.
Well, you know, turtles don't care. They'll eat anything.
Well, I don't even think a turtle eats that. Honey.
Well, who knows?
I'm pretty sure it ain't that.
Who knows? Anyway, so since last I was on, I got the patio ceiling painted. So, yay for that. Of course, you can't tell much because of the shade, but yay, it's painted. Flowers are looking good. Mary's out here with me.
You're not supposed to be taping me. I mean, doing me.
Yeah. So she's sitting out here with me reading the paper while I'm on to see what's going on. She told me about Lacey falling on the stairs and hurting herself. She wouldn't show me the pictures, but I sent Lacey a message.
I don't have permission.
I sent Lacey saying that she was like a fall risk now. She went to the hospital. They're going to want to put one of those special bands on her.
Like
And they're going to say, have you fallen in the last 6 months? And she's going to have to say like 3 times. Because didn't she fall just a couple of months ago? Or was that when she hit herself with the door? That was hitting herself with the door, I think, before.
She's messed up her foot.
Yeah, she's messed up her eye, she's messed up her foot. Now you're telling me she's messed up her face again, her nose and her forehead. She's like a fall risk. So she better hope she don't have to go to the hospital because she's either going to have to...
She better hope Lori don't likes ugly. She keeps falling on her face.
Yeah, I mean, no. Quit messing with the frosting there, girl. She's messing up her frosting. Anyway, so I heard about that. I sent her a message about, be careful. Hope she heals up pretty quick and all that kind of stuff. But Yeah, that's it. So I've eaten out of the garden twice with lettuce and onions. I've got little tomatoes own, so it won't be long and tomatoes will be ready. I see blooms all over the string beans, so it won't be long string beans will be coming on. And I see blooms on the squash and zucchini, so hopefully it won't be many more weeks before I can eat some zucchini and squash too. Of course, Mary's not going to eat any of this because she's like doing carnivore, but eventually she might eat some of the string beans, you know, some things like that. But I've already had 2 meals. Oh yeah. Well, I told them, I said, you know, yeah, their email address. Well, here's the funny thing. If you send them an email address, I'm like in charge of the emails. So anything you send that I don't want them to know about, I'll just delete it. So, you know, when you're like, you're not the president or the vice president, but you're like the one that's, you know, doing social media for them, you can like do all kinds of stuff that they don't know about. You know, Fred brought some stuff over the other day about onions, and I put it up on Instagram, but on my Instagram, about the benefits of onions and the benefits of something else. And then I turned around and I broke his heart and I said, you know that onions, you know that onions have sugar in them, right? He goes, what? I went, yeah. I said, but it, you know, if you're not like eating massive amounts of onions, you'll probably be okay, Fred. So I said, if you do like me, you just eat 2 or 3 spring onions, or you eat like a couple of slices of onions here and there, you'll be all right. You're still getting a natural sugar as opposed to like a cane or an artificial sugar. So he felt better by the time he left, but you know, he was feeling pretty bad there for a while when I told him that onions had sugar in them. So, you know, but anyway, so yeah, you know, Fred brings over these things for me to post, but you know, since I'm in charge of all of that stuff, yeah, I do what I want to do. So
you're a lying sack of shit.
Telling on me won't do any good. Hey, Thriving Michael, how's it going? How's the weather where you're at? It's overcast here. It was 91 earlier, but in the shade where I'm at, it's like low 70s. So, and it's cloudy now, right now, because we're supposed to be raining on us any minute. 91 and cloudy. Wow. Yeah, when it got cloudy up here, it cooled down a little bit because there is a little breeze going on. And in the shade, it really made it nice. So I'm sitting in the shade of the patio, so it's nice out here today. Mary and I come out here and sit all the time just because it is nice, you know. We get to see the trail, get to watch the garden. Emma gets to run in the backyard a little bit, you know, all those kind of things. So, yeah, if you didn't see my garden, Michael, let me show it to you quick. So, there's Emma right there. So you can see I got lettuce and onions over there, tomatoes and peppers in the back, squash, cucumbers, zucchini up here up front. I think a pumpkin plant must have survived, pumpkin seed must have survived from last year, because I got one thing that's got a hell of a long vine on it. So I think I got some pumpkins mixed in with my squash and zucchini. And then over there, that's all string beans. Garlic's back on the very back corner. You can hardly see it. Rhubarb over there on that corner, right outside the fence. So yeah, got spices up here, you know, all kind of herbs up there. Yeah, yeah, garlic takes a while. So my asparagus is not doing too good. It like bloomed last year. I mean, you know, and then this year it did the same thing. So it's taken my asparagus a while to get comfortable to produce sprouts, because it went to bloom for like 2 years in a row. So I'm kind of unhappy about that because I like asparagus. And when Mary's not doing carnivore, I can convince her to eat a few spears. But, you know, right now, since she's doing mainly carnivore stuff, well, to buy a big stack of asparagus is not good because nobody's going to eat it but me. So, but I got enough lettuce going on in the garden right now for probably a couple of dozen meals just for me. And so by the time I finish eating the lettuce and the onions, everything else will definitely be on, and I should be getting other stuff in, you know. So we'll see. And then I don't know if you saw my woodshed I built, anybody, but let me turn it around. You can look through the porch here and you can see the woodshed out there. And it's full of wood, about 3/4 full of wood now. I got most of it split, but not quite all of it, but most of it split up. And then we got these flowers over here that our dog told me the name of, and I forgot just that quick, Astlib or something. And there's the pavilion out there with a picnic table and fire ring. So when we do fireside chats, right out there is where we do it from. And then we're looking back this way then. Well, we got about an acre and a half here. And, you know, it's enough for us to have, God, something like 25 trees and, you know, 30, 40 bushes and, you know, a fair-sized garden and the pavilion and then the patio. And, you know, then we got all of this area over here too. And I don't know what I'm going to do about my roses. So we have this area over here too. That's an apple tree. And the shed and all that. But, so I don't know, when am I going to do something about my roses, because every time I get a damn bud on my rose bushes, the deer come down and eat off the bud. So I haven't got a single rose to bloom yet. yeah, when you have to mow around them, you know that, oh my God, you know. But I mean, I might have more trees than that. But I know that right here from where I'm sitting, I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I can see 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I can see 17 just from right here where I'm sitting. So, and I happen to know then that there's like 3 more up there, so that makes 20. And there's like 1, 2, 3, 4 more that way, so that's 24. So 24 trees at least in the yard. So I mean, you know, quite a few trees, lots of shade, which is good because it helps keep things a little bit cooler around here, you know. Enjoy it so that I can have a day like today where we're just like enjoying the comfort of the shade. Enjoying the comfort of the shade. So we went out yesterday. I wasn't on, but yesterday we went and had breakfast with our oldest son. The girls were at camps or in daycare, and well, 2 oldest girls were in camp, and the youngest girl was in daycare. And so we ate ate breakfast with the 2 of them and kind of caught up on stuff. And, you know, we're keeping Amelia starting next week, midweek. We're keeping her for about 10, 11 days while they go off to Iceland and Ireland again. So they're going to go and have like their second honeymoon kind of thing and go to Iceland for a couple of days. Then he said they're going to go to Ireland for about a week around the Dublin area. So hopefully they'll see lots of pretty things be able to have lots of good memories for their trip and all, you know. So the other two girls are going to be busy doing something with other family members, and then the youngest girl is going to come stay with us, because she's not related to that part of family.
Right.
Is the nicest way to say it, I guess. So anyway, but we'll have a good time. We bought some special toys for her today, and to play with. We already got some things planned out to do with her, and you know, Mary ordered her a bed tent, so she's going to have a little tent on the bed for her own little like camping area and everything, and she'll be happy about that. And you know,
We love pink.
she loves pink, so she got her like a pink bed tent. So I mean, you know, bought one big enough that she can enjoy it for many years, hopefully, because she does stay with us, you know, from time to time, and it'll give her her own little special place to retreat to as she gets a little bit older. They say that these things will last until they get to be like 10 years old or so. So it's considering she's going to be 4 this weekend, and you know, she'll get plenty of use out of it, hopefully. And who knows? Maybe one of the other girls come down and they can get partial use out of it too. We'll see. But I don't know. Anyway, what else is going on? So we got that coming up this weekend. And then Mary's going to leave me and Emma alone, and she goes to a doctor appointment one day. And then I got a dentist appointment one day. If I'm ever in the doghouse, well, you know, we got 2 queen-size beds. So if I was in the doghouse, I got a couch and another queen-size bed. But you know, I'm not in that kind of doghouse very often. I do get in trouble. You know, I do get in trouble for doing and saying stupid stuff from time to time without thinking it through. But you know, I usually don't get in a doghouse that's going to like put me out, kind of thing. You know, so I think I'm pretty safe there most of the time. Most of the time. But yep. So not a lot going on. I was going to cut the grass today. Finish cutting the grass today. Hey, BS Reva. I was going to finish cutting the grass today, but they kept saying, "Oh, it's going to rain. It's going to rain." And here it is, 4 o'clock. You married for shelter. Michael, that's never the reason to marry anybody, dude. Don't ever marry a woman for shelter. Because if that's the case, then she could like hold it over your head. Yeah, you better keep your self straight or you'll be sleeping in the car. You're paying a huge price. Well, the thing is, if you're not doing anything wrong, if you're not saying anything wrong, you know, then you're probably not going to be in trouble.
Or you could ask, is it okay if I do something wrong?
Well, sometimes, yeah, some people could say, is it all right if I do this? And their spouse is like, sure, go ahead.
Sure.
Just remember that when you do, I may do also, you know. And, yeah, so you got to be willing to, if you're going to do wrong, you got to be willing to accept that the other person might do wrong too.
No, see, you're labeling it wrong.
A-Lab,
it's not wrong if it's all right.
B-O-W. Some people call it open relationships, so too. So if you're in an open relationship, then that kicking you out of the bed is not a good thing either, you know. You just make sure that everybody understands that that's the bed for y'all. It's 100 where you're at, DS3? Wow.
100.
Wow. It was 91 here earlier, but it's cloudy now, and it's like out there, out from under the shade, it's probably in the low 80s, but up here in the shade, it's like low to mid 70s. There's a light breeze blowing, not enough to set off the chimes, but, you know, it's a light breeze blowing. All right, have a good day, Michael. Enjoy your day, dude. So what else is going on, BS Reaver? What else is going on where you're at? There's not much going on here. We're like sitting here watching the garden grow, enjoying the outside, you know, just enjoying being out in nature and enjoying the day and that kind of thing. It's going to be worse tomorrow and rain Thursday. Wow. Well, it's supposed to be thunderstorming right now, and I see that the sun is coming back out. So the thunderstorm must have skipped our valley. I'm not going to say it didn't thunderstorm, because when we looked at when Mary pulled up the radar for the area, oh yeah, there was a hellacious violent storm around somewhere. But it must have went down one side or other of a mountain other than the valley we're in. So it just totally missed us. So, but it's supposed to be thunderstorms from like now till I think 9 o'clock. But right now we've not seen anything. Not even a little sprinkle up here where we're at. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. The mountain, you know, it can go down one side of a valley, it can skip a valley, it can break it up into smaller pieces. There's just all kinds of stuff that could happen. But as a result, we didn't get any of that particular storm. But that doesn't mean we won't get any. You know, but like I say, where we're at, the sun is trying to come back out. So I don't know what's up with that, but anyway. So what else is going on out there in the world? Did y'all hear about the people that went down and toured the detention facilities, the concentration camps, as some of the Democrats, like Cortez, call it, and how they came out and started spouting all kinds of shit about how pitiful and how bad and everything was. You know, my thing is, if it's really that bad and pitiful, maybe they ought to go back and pass some laws and do some shit about it rather than get on TV and raise hell.
I know you didn't see this yet, but our dog answered your picture of your cake today.
Oh yeah, our dog says he's going to report me to the Anti-Sugar Coalition of America because I had a piece of cake today. But see, when I joined the coalition, our dog, if you're still in here, I let them know that, you know, I was going to give up most sugar, but I was going to have a piece of cake from time to time, and I was going to have my cheesecake at least once a year, and that, you know, I'm not going to go into real sugary pies, but I am going to have a piece of pie from time to time. So, I mean, you know, but I let them know I'm not going to be totally sugar-free, but I am going to give up like sugar in my coffee, sugar in my tea, extra sugar in processed foods along with flour and all of those kind of things. So, you know, they're just glad that they got somebody to advertise them, you know. So, yeah. Well, eat cake. Well, actually, our dog, I don't usually feel that bad because I'm not carb-free like Mary is. Now, if I was carb-free like Mary is and then I ate a piece of cake, yeah, I probably would feel pretty shitty. But, you know, I still consume about 20 to 30 carbs a day. You know, which is
That cake
low.
was way more than that.
Which is low, most days.
Your treat days, you probably get 60 grand.
So you're coming up on the heels, on my heels. You're going to start taking over the organization. You're going to become the new spokesman for the ASCA Foundation. Maybe you want to be a co-sponsor of the ASCA Foundation. We could probably arrange that. I could probably convince them to open a branch in West Virginia, and in that way you could have the West Virginia branch, and then I'll continue to like be the spokesperson for the Pennsylvania branch. Yeah, well, headquarters, I don't think anybody's going to get by Aunt Pat. She's just not going to let anybody get by her. I mean, once she found out that she couldn't have a bake sale to raise money because it had sugar in the cookies and stuff, and she like kind of became pretty sharp about that kind of stuff. So infiltrating the headquarters is going to be kind of hard because Aunt Pat and Aunt Catherine, they're like on top of this shit, and they go to church on Sunday and they're like in the church, and they give people the evil eye big time, especially on those church picnics when they walk by some of the members' places and they see that they have out some of these desserts and stuff. Like one of them's favorite thing is banana pudding, and she quit making banana pudding because she says it was too much of a temptation for her to eat it herself. And then Aunt Pat's had to quit baking. She used to be like the baker of the valley, and now she doesn't even bake anymore. I think Mary's trying to convince her to go all carnivore, and that's going to really be bad news for the rest of us that are just like low carb. But I'm pretty sure I could convince them, Ardon, to let you open a West Virginia satellite office. Just remember that all contributions need to be filtered through Pennsylvania. So when you start raising money, remember you only get to keep 10%. And then the rest has to come to the corporation. You get a 10% finder's fee.
Oh! You wanted to hear what just happened at TP's place?
What?
1 hour ago, thunderstorm incidents. Tree down. Another tree down. Another tree on wires. Tree on building. Tree into house. 2 trees across roadway. Trees across another road.
In Williamsport?
Yes.
So Williamsport got hit with the storm that missed us. So it went around our valley and went down and hit Williamsport, which is fine with me, because they haven't even finished repairing the lines up here yet. I mean, they put the power pole up, and they restored the electricity, but the cable lines and the phone lines are still laying all over hell, just all tangled up. You're going to start stealing all the sugar off the tables in Beckley? Well, that's what they do around here. I've been to some restaurants and I've gone in and I've seen, oh my God, somebody from the ASCA has been here, because there's like no regular sugar. There'll be the sugar substitutes, but there won't be any regular sugar. So, I mean, I always know when I go in that somebody's been there before me, because all the regular sugar will be gone. And there'll be just the Equal and the Splenda and the Sweet and Love. And that'll be the only thing that'll be on the table. Sometimes I'll go and there'll be no kind of thing there, not even an artificial sweetener. It'll be just like boom.
Is that fish downstairs haddock?
Huh?
Is the fish downstairs haddock?
Yes.
Okay.
Mary's already figuring out her supper tonight. We got a little bit of roast left. I'm probably going to go ahead and pick some more of this lettuce and a couple more onions for me, and have some of the beef roast on the salad. But she's going to have, looks like she's going to have haddock. Because I'll broil her some haddock. And I should have haddock, but the thing is, I'm not into fish.
How much is it? How much ounces raw?
3.5 ounces per piece. And I usually give you anywhere from 1 to 2 pieces, and you don't eat all of it, and the dog ends up with part of it. So, sometimes you'll eat like 6 ounces of the 7 that I fix.
Okay.
So, I mean, you know, and then Emma ends up with like an ounce mixed in with her food. Because I don't really like broiled or baked fish. Mary does, but I don't. You know, I'm like old country kind of stuff, man. Put some cracker meal or something like that on my fish, and I'll eat it down. But you know, I'm not much into broiled and baked fish, and which is a shame because I should be, because it's really good for you. But you know, I got some meatballs I could have before I have that, which is what I had last time she had. Last time I fixed her a haddock, I fixed me some meatballs, and I had meatballs. I could fix sausages, and I might do that. Since I have to bake the haddock anyway, I might just put some sausages, some Johnsonville Italian sausages in the air fryer, and then air fry some sausages up while I'm doing her fish. That sounds like a good idea to me.
I'm going to have 2 pieces of bacon while you're baking my fish.
You're going to have 2 pieces of bacon while I'm baking fish?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to have bacon and fish?
Yeah.
Okay. At least there's like a little time between them. You know. Somebody out there, though, is probably going to come up with a recipe to where you take the fish and then you lay the bacon over the top of it, and then you broil it or bake it, and then you have like a fish, a bacon grease floating into the fish, and it'd be a bacon fish. I might have invented a new fish. Maybe we could do like bacon wrapped fish. Maybe I might like it if I did bacon wrapped fish and baked it long enough for the bacon to get like crispy.
I'm going to make a sauce for my fish.
You're going to make a sauce?
Yeah. 2
What kind of sauce?
tablespoons of sour cream and Frank sauce.
See, I don't like Frank sauce. So sour cream and Frank sauce. Okay.
Yeah.
All righty. You go right ahead. I think I'm going to have cheese and sausage. I done convinced myself that I'm going to have sausages instead of the rest of the roast. And then maybe save the roast for the morning, for tomorrow lunch or supper to have with eggs. That probably would be a good thing to do. And that way we might both have that, huh? And finish off the roast tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds better.
Of course, we have to take Emma to the vet tomorrow. I mean, not to the vet, to the groomer. And now, Mary, who does not like to get up in the morning, made this appointment for the dog. She made this appointment for 7:15. 7:15. I haven't even drank my first.
It was the first.
I haven't even drank.
And we'll go get coffee somewhere.
I haven't even drank my first pot of coffee by 7:15.
We will get you coffee.
So that means that, you know, I'm going to have to like get up. You know what's going to happen? I'm going to wake her up. I'm going to wake her up, and she's going to say, "Can you just take her down and come back?" That's probably
you know
what's
what
going
I'm
to
going
end
to
up
do,
happening.
guys? This is what I'm going to do, guys. if I wake up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, I'm just going to get dressed then and get back in bed fully dressed. So when he thinks that I'm going to do that, I'm going to jump out of bed fully dressed and ready to go.
Yeah. We'll see. I have a feeling, though.
Do you just want to take her?
She's going to say, "Can you just take her?"
Do you just want to take her?
No, that's fine. That's fine for us to go and then have coffee somewhere.
You bought me coffee today.
I did.
I wish coffee was back to 5 cents a cup, don't you?
Mary actually drank 2 cups
I did.
while we were out
Of black coffee.
of black coffee. I had 3 cups of black coffee with my piece of chocolate peanut butter cake. And the frosting was really good. The cake itself was a little bit dry and not sweet at all. So all of the sugar was in the frosting for this cake. Because I don't think any was in the actual cake itself. Because it was like, ugh. You had to have the frosting. It was almost bad enough to where I had to ask, could I get a glass of milk just to soak it in? I mean, that's how dry the cake was. So it's a good thing there was some good frosting to go with it. Otherwise, it would have been horrible. It would have been horrible. But, I don't think I can seem to keep anybody in today, baby.
Well,
I may have to just go.
yeah, it might be your connection, though.
It might be since you couldn't get on earlier.
So
We'll
just
see.
let everybody go.
Alrighty. So anyway, we'll let you guys go. We're going to continue to enjoy the cool outside as long as the bugs aren't getting us. Oh, your mom called? Okay. Yeah, well, I'm fixing to go. But anyway, enjoy your day, and we'll talk to everyone later. Positive vibes out to the world. Oh, one more thing before I go. My brother's girlfriend, I don't know if she's girlfriend, second wife, mistress, live-in, I don't know what she is. But anyway, my brother's significant other posted a thing up about Gay Pride Month, and she had a negative comment to say about it. And I thought it was funny because when I read it, I said, girl, you fixing to get slammed. Because she said it wasn't right that there was a Gay Pride Month when we didn't have a Veterans Month and we didn't have a Homeless Children's Month and all of this other stuff. And as soon as I read that, I said, girl, you fixing to get slammed big time. Anybody you know that's gay, anybody that's in the gay community that sees your post, they're going to like call you a homophobe and everything else in the world. And so then she had to come back later and says, oh, no, I didn't mean that, that this, that, and the other. So she had to like backpedal on her comments some. And so I just thought that was funny. So, just realize in a politically correct world, you've got to be careful sometimes what you say and what you do. I mean, you should realize that a person is a person is a person, but if you don't, you need to be more careful of what you do out there in this world. Anyway, have a great day. Enjoy your day. Talk to everyone later. Bye.